Hey, Miles Beckler here, milesbeckler.com, coming from beautiful yet chilly Albuquerque, New Mexico. And in this video, we are going to answer the question, where does success come from? This is an idea that got unlocked by Tony Robbins at the Funnel Hacking Live convention, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Now, I've got several videos. If you search my channel, don't do that yet, but in a minute, if you search my channel for like success or failing forward, you'll see that I've got several videos attempting to explain what success is or where success comes from, because it's kind of backwards in many senses, right? We think that, oh, success, just go do successful things and we'll get there, right? Just keep doing successful things. But that's really not how it works. So where does success come from? Well, success comes from a series of good judgments and good decisions, right? When we make lots and lots of good decisions about our business, about our market, about our ad copy, about all these little things that have been covered, all the tactical things that we've covered in this channel, when we make good decisions about those, then we achieve success, right? Because then we've got the funnel set up right, we've got the right ad copy, we've got the right headline, we've got the right offer, we've chosen the right marketplace. All of those are good decisions. And when all those good decisions line up right, bingo, you have achieved success. So where do good decisions come from? Well, they come from experience. All right, so now we look at good decisions come from experience. So we need to have experience. And for me and my wife, I'm about 8-9 years into this particular business that my wife and I are building. And we know very clearly the kind of messaging that works. We know exactly who our audience and our customer avatar is. We have a ton of data on them. We're incredibly clear about them, and we know how to serve them very well. And this comes from experience. But what about the first few years? Well, it wasn't so smooth, and we didn't have the experience in there. And this is where the kind of counterintuitive side of success comes from. And that is when we look at, well, where does experience come from? Experience comes from bad decisions and bad judgment, right? And if you look at the first 3 to 4 years of the business model that my wife and I are operating within, bad decisions and bad judgment may be a little harsh of a way to put it, but they sure weren't good decisions. And they weren't the types of decisions we were making now. They were trial and error based decisions. We were messing things up left and right. We were using very poor subject lines on our emails. We weren't writing compelling emails. We were writing emails as if we were a brand and making these HTML branded emails versus writing emails as if we were their friend and writing just text emails that you would send to a friend. All these little things that we were doing back in the beginning of our business were bad decisions. They weren't actually succeeding. They weren't getting us closer to our goal, but yet they were. And how were they? They were those bad decisions and those poor judgment moments that led us to the good decisions that we understand. So if you're in a position right now in your business where you feel like, man, I'm hitting wall after wall, and I'm just finding things that don't work and that don't work and that don't work. Great. You're right where you should be, right? Because you have to go through that, because it's a series of poor decisions and a series of kind of trial and error. And it's a series of failing forward, which I have a great video. I'm going to link to my failing forward video because I explain this in a little bit different way. And it's a really, really clear description of this. But the process of failing forward and finding ways that don't work is simply getting you closer and closer to the ways that do work. Right? So we have to go forth and you got to at some point turn off the YouTube videos and just go out and produce content and run some ads. And those ads aren't going to work. And you got to create the funnels, and those funnels aren't going to convert in an amazing fashion. Your first ones aren't going to be a breakthrough. There's no one in this world who's created success who went from zero to hero quickly. There's always a period behind the scenes of them working their butts off, of them figuring out what works and what doesn't work through trial and error. We only hear about it or notice them when they've done that for 8 to 10 years. They say it takes 10 years to make an overnight success. And these are the kinds of things that are happening in years 1 through 9 before they become a breakout or overnight success. It's really powerful to get that mindset right, to understand that, okay, so I want to achieve success, which is based on a series of good decisions, which are based on based on experience, and experience is based on bad decisions and trial and error. So I need to go do my trial and error. I need to be willing to make the wrong decisions a few times, because through that I'm going to learn. That is called experience. When you gain enough experience, you now know 3 or 4 things. You understand enough about your marketplace. You now understand enough about your copy and how to motivate your audience and your customer avatar. You understand enough about the products and messaging and funnels that get them to take action. Boom, you have something that works. You might not be fully cash flow positive at that point, but at least you've got some good results coming in with the efforts that you're putting in. You stick with that, you continue to trial and error, you continue to test new headlines, to test new products, to create new things for your market. Boom, you have more things that work. And at this point, you've got 5 or 6 things in your tool belt or in your repertoire that work. And at this point, you have experience. You have positive experience. You've been through enough of the things that didn't work to get a series of things that do work. And now you're able to do a lot more of what works and a lot less of what doesn't work, which brings more experience around what works. You learn even more things that work, and this is where success comes from. So if you've been avoiding trial and error, if you've been avoiding taking action because you don't want to make any mistakes, that's ultimately the biggest mistake you can make. You have to take action. You have to stumble and fall down, then pick yourself back up and get at it and go forth again, because it's through that process that you gain experience. And it's through your experience that you know how to make good decisions in your business. And it's when you make consistently good decisions based on experience that you achieve success. So the whole moral of this video is go forth and just get through the trial and error as quickly as you can. Iterate fast. Run your funnels, get your funnels up and running as quick as you can. Get your split tests running as quick as you can. Get through that trial and error process as quickly as you can. Get experience as fast as you can. If you're only putting in 2 hours per week in your business, guess what? That's only 100 hours per year, and that's really the equivalent of a couple of weeks, full-time weeks, right? If you're putting in 2 hours a day on your business, boom, now you're putting in over 700 hours per year, which is the equivalent of something like 18 weeks of 40-hour weeks. And that will simply get more trial and error done for you in a more condensed period of time. So the question is, how hungry are you and how willing are you to just fail forward, to just figure it out, to just take action and adapt and adjust? Be observant, right? As you're doing this, pay attention. When things don't work, keep a journal. Blog about it if you want. Document the process. Be like, write out this. I tried this. I set up a funnel and it was total rubbish. It absolutely didn't work. Here's why I think it didn't work. And out of those ideas, synthesize a new hypothesis. Now, here's what I'm going to do, and here's why I think this next one's going to work. Then you run your test. Did it work? Did it not work? Did it work a little bit better? Great. Write about it, note about it, journal. You don't have to do it in public. You can do it in an actual journal at home, but just kind of keep your mindset going forward in the sense that every time I find a way that doesn't work, that's great because it brings you one step closer to something that does. And that, my friend, is where success comes from. And if you take that right mindset and that right approach of taking action forward and being okay with the failures, being okay with the mistakes, you're getting one step closer with every mistake you make. That's how my wife and I made it. I can't tell you how many times I dropped our site, I broke everything, I accidentally emailed the wrong email to people. I mean, I have run the gamut of mistakes. I wasn't public about those mistakes very much, but I'm happy to fess up to it and be very honest that the first 3 to 4 years of our business, we had no idea what we were doing. We were stabbing around in the dark. We would try this, then we would try that, then we would try this, and then we would try that, and all over the map. Do that for a few years and found that this worked and that worked and this worked, and then we put those 3 things together and just focused on what worked, tried a few other things, and now what we do has such a high likelihood of working because of all the experience we have. And so that's why we're able to kind of keep our businesses growing at a faster rate with even less and less effort over time, which is where you can get. So thank you again for your time. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to leave me a comment with any questions you have, or if you're going through the process and you just had an aha moment, let me know what that aha moment is. I love hearing about it here in the comments. Give me a thumbs up here on YouTube if you wouldn't mind, and be sure to subscribe if you have not, so you can get the new videos when they come out. If you have subscribed, I do thank you very much for that, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video because I've got some more videos coming down the pipeline for you. So see you again soon. Thanks.